Let's bounce skedaddle. Let's go to chapter 9. Here's the review. Let me shrink this. Okay. So 9-1, 9-2, 9-3, 9-4, 9-5. I'm going to just leave this open-ended. Which one do you want to go over? I'm going to go in order. If you have a question on it, say yes, and then I'll do an example. So 9.1, solving linear systems by graphing. Who has issues with doing that? Let me open up everybody. I don't know if everybody can hear me.
I have a problem with inequality.
With inequalities? Right,
I have a problem with 9.1.
I have a question, but it's not based on what we're talking about.
All right, so hold it to the end, please.
Okay.
All right. I'm trying to unmute everybody. Some people aren't unmuting. That might just be the speaker on your end. But let's talk about it in order. So 9.1, does anybody have an issue with 9.1?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do 9.1, solving linear systems by graphing. Naturally, I have examples here, but I am going to scroll out here to the right, to the right. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna leave it open, so make sure that the background noise for y'all is low. Nobody's, punching on their cereal and everything else. If you have a question, you can speak. I'm gonna leave it open-ended. That way we can have a good discussion, just like class. All right, so I'm gonna create a problem. Y equals 4x plus 1. Y equals negative 3x minus 2. Okay, so this is our system. This system is in what format?
Standard.
No. What other format? I'm waiting.
Y-intercept.
There is no formula called y-intercept.
Slope-intercept form?
Don't you gotta do
Slope-intercept form.
something?
Slope-intercept form. How do I know it's in slope-intercept form?
The y-intercept.
Y
equal
mx
mx plus b.
There you go. So if I see y is equal to, I just look. Here's my m, here's my x, here's my m, here's my x. This is plus b plus b. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like we're having issues with our formulas. What are the other two formulas that you need to know?
Standard and point slope.
There you go. So I need standard. Great job. I know that's DeAndre. Standard is ax plus by equals c. And then I also need to know point slope form. Point slope form. Anybody know?
Isn't that the one with like m equals
Y minus y1 equals x minus y2.
what is?
Great. Y, what does that mean? Chapter 9. Y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. So those three formulas you need to know. The two that we've dealt with the most are these two. We sprinkled in a little point slope form, okay? So we want to make sure that we have that down. All right, so now I know that both of these are in slope intercept form. What I want to do now is, who can tell me what does slope intercept form give me?
Y-intercept slope.
Y-intercept in the slope. Good. So what is the y-intercept for the first equation?
1.
What do I know about y-intercept? X will always equal what?
0.
0. Good. So all I have to do is figure out what the y is. What is the y going to be?
1.
1, because this is my b. All right. What's the slope of the first one?
4/1.
4, and I can make it a fraction by putting it over 1. 4 divided by 1 is just 4. Okay. So what does the slope tell me to do?
So up 4 and right 1.
Great job. All right. So I can graph that. I'm done with that one. So let's talk about the second one. I just need to repeat the same steps I just did for the first one. So somebody besides Deandra, what is the y-intercept?
0, -2.
0, -2. Great job. What is my slope?
-3/1.
-3/1. What does it tell me to do?
Go down 3 to the right one.
Great job. All right, so this is where I create my graph. So I make a y-axis and an x-axis. Who knows what I graph first?
The zeros.
The y-intercept.
Yeah.
Yes, always. I can only graph the y-intercept. Hold on for 1 second. I need to get a mouse so I can keep letting these people in. Hold on for a second.
Standard form is A what?
Standard form is AX plus BY equals C.
All right. So,
Thanks.
I got you.
there we go. Brings me back in. I need to make sure everybody can talk because when y'all come in, it mutes you automatically. All right, so I'm trying to unmute you, Carlos, Fabian, Isaiah, Jonathan, and Sebastian.
Isaiah Baker.
So I'm unmuting you. Once you mute yourself, it mutes you again. So keep it unmuted while we have a conversation. But you gotta keep the noise in the background down. If you have somebody talking in the background, mute yourself. All right. So now, here we go. Let's take this first equation. The first equation, I graph 0, 1. How do I graph that? Where do I start?
You start.
X.
At the 0.
At the 0, at the origin. And do I go right or left at all?
No.
I go where then?
You go up
Or down, depending
I
on
go up how many?
1.
the line.
1, because it says 0, 1. Good. How do I get my second point?
That's when you graph the slope.
Good. So it tells me to do what?
Go down
Go up
3.
4.
Up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now what?
The right one.
Right, 1. That is my second point. What do I do now?
Make a line.
Oh, shoot. I am not recording this, am I?
Oh, record Mr. Harris.
Nope, I'm recording. Yeah, y'all ain't recording. I was recording anyway. Great. So there we go. There we go. Good. All right. So now I do the second one. What do I do?
Graph the y-intercept.
The
Start on the 0, go down 2.
Good. Start at 0 on the x-axis. Go down 2. I make a point. Now what do I do?
Go down 3.
The right one.
Right one.
1, 2, 3 into the right 1. Now what do I do?
Make a line
Where is my answer?
where the lines meet, right in the middle.
There we go. So all I have to do is circle it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So are we good with 9.1?
Yes.
All right. So 9.2 talks about substitution. Does anybody have any issues with 9.2?
Yes.
Me.
Yeah.
So here we go. Look, I'm here for y'all. So this isn't about I don't know or look, can't nobody see your face anyway. So here we go. Substitution. What does that really mean? If I had x is equal to 3 and I told you x plus 4, what would you do?
Put the 3 as the x.
Right? And you would say 7. So does it matter if I say 3x plus 1? What would you do?
Put the 3.
Put the
Not
3x
just
plus
the
1.
3, but 3x
Put the
plus
3x plus 1.
and then plus 4, correct?
Mm.
So I would get 3x plus 5. Simple as that. That's all substitution is. But here's the thing. I'm going to give it to you in the form of an equation. It could be standard form, slope-intercept form, or point slope form. For the most part, it's just standard form or slope intercept. So here we go. Let's start with something easy. Y is equal to 2x plus 1. And let's say x plus y is equal to 8. What can I do?
Put that.
Doesn't this say y equals?
Yeah, then there's 2x plus 1.
So can I substitute that y in for that y?
Mm-hmm.
So what's my new equation?
X plus 2x plus 1 equals 8.
And anytime you substitute, you always use what?
Parentheses. Oh,
Parentheses. So now what am I going to solve for?
X.
X. Whenever I go to solve, what do I use?
Steps.
4 steps.
4 steps. So here we go. Simplify / combine like terms. What's the first thing I got to do? Waiting.
Simplify.
Yes. Simplify. What's the checklist?
PEMDAS.
Distribution, factoring, remove factors.
Good. So I need to distribute, right? I'm
Yeah.
just distributing a 1. So does that change anything?
No.
No. Because 1 times anything is itself. But what else do I have to do now? Am I done with step number 1?
No.
No. What am I going
You
to
have
do?
to combine like terms.
Combine like terms. Are they on the same side?
Yes.
Yes. So I can just do what it says to do. What do I get? Yo, this is on y'all. Y'all got to go faster. Let's go. What do I get?
Which one?
3x.
There you go. 3x.
Equals 8. No, wait, plus
No,
1.
plus 1 equals 8.
There you
I
go.
fixed myself, Caitlin.
You gotta be faster.
Anything else to do for step number 1?
No.
No. So I'm on to step number 2. What do I do?
No.
All addition and subtractions from near your variable.
Good.
So you subtract
Subtract what?
1 from 8.
1 and 8.
There you go. What I do to one side, I must.
2.
The other.
So what comes down?
3x
X.
equals 7.
7. Step 3. What do I do?
Remove all multiplication and division.
So what do I do?
Divide.
Divide by what?
3.
Did I hear 3x? Just 3. X is
3.
protected. So x is equal to what?
7/3.
7/3. Leave it that way. If it doesn't go in even, just leave it. Okay? Now, what can I do with that?
You plug it into the
Y.
Yes, not the y, but that equation, correct?
Yeah.
So here we go. I got y equals 2x plus 1. So what do I do?
You put that x equals 7/3.
Like that. So now I'm solving for y. So I still do 4 steps. What do I have to do? Simplify / combine like terms. What am I going to do?
Don't you distribute the 2 into the equation
Yes.
to the fraction?
You are correct. Now that's really PEMDAS. This is multiplication. How do I change 2 into a fraction?
You put the
You put the 1 under,
There you go. And how do I multiply fractions?
straight across.
Straight across. So here I go. 2 times 7 is what?
14.
1 times 3? There we go. Can I add those 2 things together right now?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Why? Can't you just put a 1 under?
I can put a 1 under, but are the denominators the same?
No.
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 How do I make the denominators the same?
And they're GCF, I think, or something like that.
Multiply by 3 for the 1, right? Because I will get now 14/3 plus, what's 1 times 3?
Three.
3.
What's 1 times 3?
3.
3.
Isn't that still 1?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Are the denominators the same?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So what do I get? Add the numerators.
I can't.
17. This is 17 over 3. Yeah.
Yes. So I know that x is equal to what?
7 over 3.
And y is equal to what?
17 over 3.
And that's your answer. I know they're fractions. I put them in there. Okay. Oh, well. Hate me all you want. But that's how you get it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You got to be ready for fractions. All right. So am I doing all of them? That was substitution. Do you want an easier one with no fractions?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if I can give you one with no fractions. 4x. Let's put plus 2. Y is equal to 2x. 2. So let's put plus 8. And watch me change this. I'm going to change this to negative 2x plus y is equal to 8. So now I can erase this. So what do we do? I'm using substitution. So what do we do?
You add, so it's going to be 2x plus 4x plus 2 equals 8.
Close. It's not 2x, but what?
Negative.
There you go. Negative 2x plus, instead of y, I'm going to substitute this in. So 4x plus 2 is equal to what? 8. What am I solving for?
X.
X. That invokes this. So what am I going to do?
PEMDAS. Distribute.
You distribute. So we distributed 1. Does anything change?
No.
Negative 2x plus 4x plus 2 is equal to 8. Am I done with step number 1?
No, combine like terms.
Combine like terms. What do we do?
Track.
Negative 2x plus 4x is equal to what?
Negative. No. 2. This is 2.
Yes, 2x. But 2x plus 2 is equal to 8. Step number 2, what do we do?
Remove.
Remove addition and
Yeah.
subtract
That's your variable.
Yeah.
So subtract 2
Got
from 8.
and 2 from 8.
from both sides. So what comes down?
From the 2x, then it'll be equal 6.
Step 3.
Divide
By 2.
X is equal to what?
3.
What do we do with that?
You plug it in.
plug it in.
Plug it back in, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So y equals 4x plus 2. What does that equation become?
Y equals 4
Parentheses 3.
parentheses.
Okay.
Good. So all I have to do is PEMDAS. What do I get?
Distribute the 4 into the 3, which is 12 plus 2.
Equals what?
14.
So y is equal to 14. X is equal to 3. What's my answer?
3.
3, comma 14.
There you go. Done and done. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to use the exact same problem now, and I'm going to show you how to eliminate. Okay. So I have y equals 4x plus 2. I had negative 2x plus y equals 8. Are these in the same form?
No.
No. One slope intercept form, one is
Standard.
Standard.
So watch what I do. I'm going to put negative 4x, negative 4x. What did I just do?
You moved it to the other side.
Good. What I do to one side, I must do to the other in order to be balanced, right? But now I put in what format?
Is it
Um,
plus AX plus BY standard form? Isn't it?
Yep, standard form. So now I can put it what? Right underneath here. So I get negative 4x plus y equals 2. Now, elimination. What do I look at first?
Isn't it the two that are the same, which is the Y and the Y? But that's
Yes. This is a coefficient of 1. This is a coefficient of 1. Now, are they additive inverses or are they exactly the same?
exactly the same.
Exactly the same. So I'm going to cancel this out, but am I going to add or subtract?
Subtract.
Subtract. Because they're exactly the same, I need to subtract. So negative 2 minus the negative 4. Negative and negative is a
Positive.
Positive.
So I get negative 2 and a positive 4. So that gives me 2x, correct? Negative 2x. A negative negative is a positive. So negative 2x plus 4x is positive 2x, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now this is a 1, this is a 1. 1 minus 1 is what? What's 1
Zero.
minus 1?
0.
0. So 0 times y is what?
0.
0. 8 minus 2 is what?
6.
6. That's this. Solve for what?
The X.
X.
Nothing to do for the first step. Nothing to do for the second step. Third step, what do we do?
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. X is equal to what?
3.
3. What do we do with that?
Plug it into the next
Plug it in.
equation.
There you go. Just plug it in. Does it matter which equation?
No.
No. So let's put negative 2x plus y equals 8. That's the first one, right? So I plug this in. So I get negative 2 times what?
3.
3 plus y equals 8. What are we solving for?
Y.
So 4 steps. Anything to do for the first step?
Just, yes. PEMDAS, distribute.
PEMDAS, distribute, same thing. So negative 2 times 3 is what?
A negative 6.
Good. Step 2, what do we do?
Remove plus and addition, subtraction, your variable.
So what am I going to do?
You're gonna add 6.
Yep. Add 6. Add 6. What comes down?
The Y
Y.
equals 14.
Done and done. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You see how simple that was?
Yeah.
Isn't that the same as substitution?
Mm-hmm.
So substitution, we got 3 and 14. Elimination, I got what?
Y equals 4.
3 and 14, correct? Here's
Yeah.
x equals 3, y equals 14. So I get 3 and 14 again. Yes?
Mhm.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody understands?
Yes.
I have a
Yes,
lot
ma'am.
Of people, I have
Yeah.
a lot of people on mute. I keep unmuting all y'all. Y'all keep, once you mute yourself, it doesn't come back unless I unmute you. Does everybody understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So here we go. Now watch this. Let's do elimination, but this time,
No fractions.
no, we're not going to do fractions. I'm going to do the same problem. Negative 2x plus y equals 8. Negative 4x plus y equals 2. Now, last time, which one did we eliminate, the y or the x?
Yeah.
Y.
We eliminated the y. Look, right here. Eliminated y. So this time, I'm going to force you to eliminate the x. So what do I look at? I look at negative 2 and I look at negative 4. Are they additive inverses?
What?
Yeah.
additive inverses mean when I add them together, they equal 0. So 2 minus 2 is 0.
Don't you you do the top equation, you add it by 4, and then the bottom equation you add it by 2.
No, we're not going to add. You can't use addition, okay? Addition would mess you up. But I can do something else. I know that the GCF, I mean, the least, yeah, the greatest common factor. I want to do the least common multiple, LCM. The least common multiple of 2 and 4. Sorry about that. 2 and 4 is going to be what? 4. 2 goes to 4 and 4 goes to 4, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So this one is already at 4, but this one is not at 4. What do I have to multiply that by to get it to 4?
2.
2. If I'm going to do that, I have to do it to the whole equation. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Because what I do to one side, I must.
You to the other.
There we go. So 2 negative 2x plus y equals 2 times 8. You see how I'm doing it to both sides?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So now I just distribute. So I get 2 times negative 2 is what?
-4 plus 2y.
And then plus what?
2y.
Equals?
14. 16.
16, right? So now I'm going to rewrite these equations. This negative 4x plus 2y equals 16 is exactly equal to that standard form equation up there. All I did was multiply by 2 on both sides. So here I go. I got negative 4x plus y equals 2. All I did was copy it down, correct?
Yeah.
Now, was it negative 2 and negative 4? Let's make sure. Yes, both negatives. Okay. So now, negative 4x plus 2y equals 16. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All I
Yes.
did was put it there together. I'm eliminating the x. Are they additive inverses or are they exactly the same number?
Same number.
Same number. So am I going to
Same
add or
number.
subtract? I need to subtract. If they're exactly the same number, we subtract. If they're inverses or opposites, what do I do?
You add it.
Yeah.
You would add them, okay? So here we go. Negative 4 minus a negative 4. Negative and negative is a positive. What number does that go to? Negative 4 plus 4 is what?
0.
0. Here we go. 1 minus 2. What do you get?
-1.
Negative 1. 2 minus 16 is what?
-14.
Negative 14. So step number 1, we're going to solve for y. Nothing to do. Step 2, nothing to do. Step 3, what do we do?
Divide
By what?
by 1.
No. What is it?
-1.
Negative 1. Y is equal to what?
Positive 14.
Positive 14. So what do we do?
You plug it into the next equation.
Plug it back into one of the original equations, correct?
Uh-huh.
Does it matter which one?
No.
So negative 4x plus y equals 2. I'm going to put 14 in for the y. So my new equation is what? Waiting.
Oh, isn't it? We just saw for x, right? Or was it y?
So
You
we're
plug it in, so it's negative 4x plus
14.
equals 2.
there you go. Solve for what?
For x.
X.
Anything to do for the first step?
No.
Second step.
No. No, yeah.
Yeah, you have to
remove addition.
subtract
Subtract what?
14 to both sides.
So what comes down?
Negative 4x. 13, 12.
Equals what? Come on, people. Y'all can do this. Let's go. 2 minus 14 is negative 12. Step 3, what do I do?
Divide
Divide by what?
negative 4.
X is equal to what?
3.
3.
3. You already knew the answers. I'm doing the same problem. I just do it different ways. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So I just did the same problem 3 different ways, didn't I?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go to the one that I think it was Aaliyah said, let's review it. So I'm going to use the same exact problem though, except for I'm going to change it into inequality. So negative 4, y and 2y, 2 and 16. Can y'all remember that? Okay, y'all can't remember that. So let's do this. I'll copy it. Copy. I'm gonna bring it down here. Let's paste it. All right, here we go. We got 2 equations. All I need to do is change it just a little bit. So it was negative 4, right? So negative 4x, negative 4x. And instead of these equal signs, I am going to make it greater than, and one's going to be less than or equal to. So same system, but I made them into inequalities, correct? All right, in order to graph, these are in standard form. What should I put them in?
I don't know.
Slope, intercept.
Yes, this is standard. I should go to slope intercept form. Okay, what's slope intercept form?
Y equals
Y equals mx plus b.
All right, so that means solve for what?
Y.
Solve for y. So here we go. I got negative 4x plus y is greater than 2. Treat the inequality like an equal sign. So I'm solving for y. Step 1, simplify / combine like terms. Anything to do? No. Step 2, remove addition subtraction. Anything to do?
Yeah.
Yes. We're going to add what?
Then
4 to both sides.
There you go. So that cancels out. I get y is greater than, and it's 2 plus 14, not 14, just 4. 2 plus 4x. Correct? Now I can switch that to slope intercept form just by switching these two. That's a commutative property. So 4x plus 2. Keep the signs, okay? So I know that the y-intercept is what? What's the y-intercept? Like you literally just did it.
0, 2. 0, 2.
Thank you. 0, 2. What is the slope?
4 over 1.
4.
4 over 1. What does that tell me to do?
To go up 4 right 1.
Thank you. So we can graph this, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Inequalities means we're going to have to do what?
To shade it, right?
Shade it, yes. So here we go. What can I graph?
The
2.
So if I start at 0, I go where?
up 2.
1, 2. Now what do I do?
You go
4 right
up
1.
1. Yeah.
I heard right 1, but what am I supposed to do?
You gotta go up 4 times first.
1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right?
1.
1. What kind of line am I going to have?
Is it a line?
Or what?
Is that a dash line or a forgot?
Dash line. I have a dash line because it's greater than. If it's greater than or less than, then it's a dashed line. Something like that, okay? Don't be hating on my dash line. Now, what do I do to that line?
You have to put another line through it. I think I don't know what it's called. A vertical. I don't know
Vertical line. What is this vertical line going to tell me?
which part to shade.
Yep. And what part do I want to shade?
The top.
The what?
The top. I don't know.
Why? Why do I want to shade the top?
I'd be confused on that part.
What does it say in the equation? Y is what?
Greater than.
Greater than. So is up greater than or is down greater than?
Okay, so it's up.
Up. Up is greater than. Therefore, I shade.
That was right. Why are you questioning me? What the hell? See?
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Aaliyah,
Yeah,
that makes sense?
yeah.
All right, so let's do the second problem. I want to be able to shut up, but y'all got to be able to do this. So negative 4x plus 2y is less than or equal to 16. All right, I'm not saying anything. Let's go. What do we do?
You put it in slope intercept form.
How do I do that?
Solve for y?
Yes. So do it. Waiting.
Okay, don't you put the multiply by both sides?
What did I put right here to the right?
1 in the parentheses.
What does that stand for?
M dash.
Thank you. So is anything to do for it?
No.
No. So now I go to what?
Step 2.
So what do I do?
You add
Good. Add what?
4x.
Good. I do it to one side, so?
You do the other side.
16.
Good. So what comes down?
The 2y
Good.
is equal to 16 plus 14x.
Good. Now what?
Divide.
Yes. By?
2? Why?
No, just 2. Y is protected. It gets left alone. So just the 2. If I do it to one side, I must.
It's the other.
So what comes down?
So y.
Keep
Does it
going.
define
And then 8
Good.
plus
Plus
2x.
Good. And now I can just switch them and say y is less than or equal to what?
2x plus 8.
Yes. So therefore I know what?
so
The slope and the
yeah, you
minus
have 0.8.
What's the y-intercept? I heard
0, 8.
0, 8. And the slope is what?
2, 1.
Over 1.
Which tells me to do what?
Go
Up
up
to right 1.
Good. Can I graph that?
Yes.
All right. So let's graph it.
Okay, put 0, 8,
So here's 0. And I do
Go
what?
up 8. Go up 8.
8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And then
Got it.
And then
Up 2 again.
up 2 and then right 1.
You draw the line.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're good there. Oh, I know where it's going. Solid line or dashed?
Solid.
Solid. Where are these going to connect?
They keep going.
They keep going. Remember, what was our answer up top? Where did they always cross? At what?
3, 4.
314. We're only at 1. So I need to get all the way out to 3 in order to get to there, correct?
Uh-huh.
All right. So now, still with the blue line, what do I have to do to the blue line?
You have to add the vertical line.
Good. And I'm going to shade what?
The bottom part, the last part, whatever.
Good. The one that's going down. So
Yeah.
now, watch what I do. It will be all of this. Does that make sense? Where the yellow will be all of this. So where's the double shaded region?
Where they cross.
The double shaded region's in between them. Do you see where I shaded?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So anything in that double shaded region would make both equations true. Are we good on that?
Yeah.
All right. So that's all of chapter 9. There's nothing else really to do. You just have to be able to make sure that you know how to solve for y, graph, and then also be able to shade. Shading literally is off of slope-intercept form, okay? Which brings us to chapter 14. And let's go here. So chapter 14, 14.1, understanding polynomials. Anybody have any issues with it? So monomial, binomial, trinomial.
What is this for? Algebra 2?
Yeah, this is algebra 2, but algebra, liberal arts and math for college readiness, this is the next section for you. You're going to hear next. All right. So 14.1, understanding polynomials. That talks about knowing how many terms there are. You have to know what a monomial is. You have to know the degree of the monomial. And you have to be able to write out, is it a binomial, trinomial, or monomial? Okay. Do we know how to do that?
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty simple, right? Then if we're adding and subtracting polynomials, it's nothing more than combined like terms. So how do I know they're like terms? It has to have the same variables and it has to have the same powers. Do I change the powers or the variables? If I'm adding or subtracting?
No.
No, I only add or subtract what? Starts with a C.
The coefficient.
Coefficient. Only the coefficient. Okay?
You
Right? And then I'm able to label it. 4th degree polynomial. Why? Because 4 is the biggest power of a monomial. If I look here, this is 5th degree. Why? Because 4 plus 1 is 5. This one would be 2 plus 1, that's 3. This would be 1 plus 1, that's 2. So the biggest one is 5. So I have a 5th degree polynomial. Over here, there's nothing else over there. What about multiplying? Monomial times a polynomial. That's nothing more than what? Hello? When I multiply, it's nothing more than what? What is this called? We've been doing it forever.
Distributing.
Distributing, okay? Arrows mean what? What do the arrows
Distribute.
mean that we draw?
Divide. No, multiply.
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 Okay, they mean multiply. So
So
you have to take whatever's on the outside and multiply it to each term on the inside. So there's two terms. So I get two equations. And then you should be able to tell me what degree it is. Here's a 4 and a 2, so that's 6. And here's 1, 1, and a 3, so that's 5. So 6 is the biggest degree. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then multiplying binomial times a binomial, we have something called FOIL. FOIL is what?
first, outer, inner, last.
Good. First, outer, inner, last. So how many different arrows do I get?
4.
4. So I multiply each term in the first to each term in the second. So I get x times the 3, x times the y. Then I have y times the 3 and y times the y. And then all I have to do is combine like terms if there's anything left. Does that make sense? Yes. That stuff is pretty straightforward. I'll do a couple examples just to make sure you understand. Okay. So let me ask you this. Is that a monomial?
Nah.
No. Why? Because there's a variable in the denominator. You're not allowed to have a variable in the denominator. Is 3x squared, is that a monomial? Waiting.
I have no idea.
Yes, that's a monomial. It's just a constant with a variable. The power is positive and you're good. What about 4y negative 2? Is that a monomial? Waiting.
I don't know what a monalioli thingy is. Okay.
I'm crying.
Monomial. You'll get
I'm
to
gonna
it.
say no because it's got a
You're
negative
in
last.
liberal
I'm gonna say
arts.
no.
You'll get to it. All
Isn't
right.
it?
But this is a no. Why?
Because
Because
of
you
the
have a
negative sign?
Is it because
negative
it's a variable?
power. Negative powers not allowed in your answer. Okay. So here we go. Let's take 3x and let's multiply it to x plus y. I just distribute. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Equations do I have? How many equations do I have?
Oh, I don't know.
2. There's 2 arrows. So 3x times x. Now I do 3x times what?
Why?
Why?
Y. Good. What is 3x times x? Well, what's the coefficient here? 1.
1.
So 3 times 1 is what?
3.
3.
3.
So
What
3x.
X times x. When we
It'll be-
multiply them together, what do we do to the powers?
You add them, so you got x2.
Add them.
So it's x squared.
Yes. So I get x squared. All right. So now 3x times y. What's the coefficient? Uh-oh. One note went down. Y'all can still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
All right. Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first
There
time
we
it
go.
does that.
What is the, I don't know what's going on. What are the coefficients? It's 3 and a what?
1.
So 3 times 1 is what?
3.
3.
3. X times y is what?
XY.
XY. X times y. And that's your answer. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's do binomial to binomial. So let's do 3x squared plus 4. And let's multiply that to 5x minus 2. So each term in the first has to be multiplied to each term in the second. So here we go. First, outer, inner. Uh-oh. There goes one note.
Just keeps crashing.
Yeah, because y'all, it loves y'all so much. Here we go.
You should-
First, outer, inner, last. So this says 3x squared times what? Times what?
Times
Times 5x.
Thank you. Times 5x plus
Isn't it 15 cubed?
3x squared times what?
-2.
-2. Plus 4 times what?
5x.
5x
Good. Plus 4 times what?
times -2.
-2. So here we go. 3 times 5 is what?
15.
15. X
But it's
squared
cubed.
times x. What is the power of this other x?
It's 1, but isn't it
A
cubed?
1,
1. So 2 plus 1 is what?
3,
3. Plus, what is 3 times -2?
-6.
-6.
-6. X squared just follows along, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
4 times 5 is what?
20.
20.
X follows along. 4 times -2 is what?
-8.
-8. Anything to combine?
Mm,
Here's x to the third, x squared, x to the first. Everything's different, correct?
Yep.
yeah.
Therefore, nothing to combine. How many terms do I have?
4.
4.
What's the highest degree that I have?
20x.
3.
3.
Oh.
So this is a third degree polynomial. Does that make sense? And that's all of chapter 14. Really, really simple chapter, okay? All right, so let's bring y'all all up to speed. Let's make sure we understand. We have a test today, so there's a test out there. Boom. So this is liberal arts and math for college readiness. So all of this was due. I opened up last week for this week also. So you only really had like 4 things to do this week. But I opened that up. So here's one of them was like 8 problems. Like all the problems this week were like 8. There was only like 8 that you had to do. Last week you had, I think, like 10. Okay. Are there any questions on the homework, where to go to get the homework, where to fill in the contact form? Because you must fill in this contact form to get your points.
I filled out my contact form.
All right.
Yeah, I just did mine too.
Yeah, so
Fill out the contact form so you get your points, okay? All right. Any other questions for me?
no.
No, sir.
We're all good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see something. I'm still here. All right. I'll see y'all later then, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
Alrighty then.
Thank
Bye.
you, Mr. Harris. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Y'all have a good one. Matt.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. There we go. All right, Matt, I'm gonna sit there and kick everybody out and then bring you back, okay?
Okay.
All right. How do I do that though? All right, that's a lot. I'm gonna look. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you my personal Zoom number, and then I'll email that to you. Actually, no, I can't do it. I'll email it to you and just log on to that, and that way it'll be clean. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Look in your email. I'll see you then.
Okay, bye-bye.
So I'll probably stop doing Zoom on Friday, but I will be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I need to make sure that you're getting this. I know some of you feel overwhelmed. Oh my goodness, it's so much work coming from all different types of people. Well, mine, I'm trying to stay consistent with our class, okay? As long as I don't even go for a full 90 minutes, and I'm still giving you an hour a day, and your homework is usually around 8 to 10 problems, not that much, okay? So I wanna make sure that you feel good with this. I also put what's being graded, okay? There's things that you need to do for class, and then there's things that are actually being graded. Make sure you get your grade. Get your grade, get your grade, get your grade.
Ow.
So let's go back here and let's see what Algebra 2 has.
Mr. Harris, are we getting a grade for the contact information?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
God damn it.
thanks.
Please do it. Life is easy. So Algebra 2, I have 15.3 done. I'm going to post that as soon as it gets done rasterizing. And let's see what Algebra 2 has. Algebra 2. What does Algebra 2 have on the Thursday? It's a test. Oh my goodness. So modular 14, polynomials and operations of polynomials post-test. So that's the name that's in HMH. Make sure you do the review.
Wait, what is HMH? I don't know what HMH is. I have HRW.
All right, HRW and HMH are the same exact thing. Watch when I click on, I call it HMH because it's Hope McDougall, right here, Houghton Mifflin Harcourt.
And when you log in, it says HRW.
Gotcha, just like it says right here. That's just their web address. It is what it is. I call it HMH because that's what it is. That's who made the book as we go through, okay?
Okay, good.
Mr. Harris, you said that you're gonna add the test now or it's already up?
It should be already up.
Oh, I think I did that.
It should already be up.
Because it doesn't say test, right?
It started today. And
It says pro pre-test.
right here.
Like that.
So some people already started it,
Yeah.
right? So
Okay.
some people already started. So if I look here, reports, let's go to calendar.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't pull up the grade now.
I'm not. I wouldn't do that, would I?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
should.
Trust.
Not mine.
I don't remember what I got.
I will show you everybody's grade. I wouldn't do that.
Mr. Harris, we didn't need to do anything hasty right now.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not that.
Especially since you
hasty.
like calling parents. I'm just.
Darn right. I'm calling all your parents. I've been calling
most
every
definitely
day
did.
because it takes forever to do. But as you can
Because
see,
I was the first
here,
one for no reason. Just saying.
here's the due date. See, I didn't pull up your grades. It just shows what's assigned. So if I'm looking here, here's the test. This is for liberal arts. Nobody has taken it so far out of the 83 kids.
Yes, I did take it.
Not for this one.
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now.
And I got like a 80 something.
Okay, I'm not going to view
I'll
it.
send you a picture.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got it. But as you can see, this is what I'm looking at. Okay. Remember, there's two different ones. One is a pre-test and one is a post-test. So do not get those confused, okay? Do not get those confused. Because I want to make sure. What is today? The 16th?
Yes.
Today's the 16th.
So what was due?
Oh, that's disgusting.
I'm going to put what was due on the 10th. Let's see what it pulls up. Website's a little slow. I don't know. Okay, so since it's passed, I don't know what it's doing. It's just showing me this week. I don't want to show no grades, so that's where it's at. All right, so here we go.